Okay, yeah, yesterday's video, I had a lot of comments on it, which is good, a lot of response and a lot of sense spoken. I'm sorry, thank everyone who did. I haven't got time to respond, I'm sorry. There's too many there for me to go through and do it. But I've read them all, and I think anyone who has posted a comment on there, I think they should go and read all the comments. But it did sort of come across that there was a lot of discord in the job, and there has been for a while. A lot of people saying they got out, a lot of people went to Australia, wherever they got to Australia and weren't happy there and got out of it, done other things. But anyway, just want to clarify a couple of things, what I said, especially with my idea of training bricklayers. I said I could train bricklayers to work on the line properly and accurately and build corners in 3 months. Maybe not 3 months, might take a bit longer, I don't know. But what I was trying to say was, get these people trained in trowel skills, so they can lay a brick properly, get on site under supervision, house bashing, and then if they want to forward their skills and their education, go to night school and become proper bricklayers, basically learn everything. But I'm wasting my breath really, because it ain't going to happen, is it? Like someone said, if the government did go and do it and listen to me, which they won't while they listen to me. There'd be a quango involved and that. It's just not going to happen. It wouldn't work, would it? So, and people saying, if you do that, it would devalue the prices, bring the prices down. Well, not really, because you're training bricklayers to lay bricks, on the house bashing to the line, so they're good for that job. And if if they're on a price, depending on the price, you're going to make money, aren't you? So, you're not really devaluing it. And it's not, I use bricklaying because I'm a bricklayer, it's a bricklaying channel. But there's a lot of other trades that will be devalued as well. Motor mechanics, for instance, they're not motor mechanics anymore. I mean, where I take my fans, they do work on the older vehicles, vintage and veteran vehicles. So they are the proper old school mechanics. But most, they call them technicians now, don't they? Plug into the computer and just change the part, really, or the sensor. So, that's been devalued. Plastering has been massively devalued, hasn't it? Internal plaster. They're just skimmers now, don't they? Skimmer on plasterboard. There's no free coat anymore, float and set. So, yeah, it's not just us. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go and have a look at some arches. Okay, this is the house. That's extension just been put on it. I haven't done that. Just doing some samples here. Someone else has done some they're not happy with, so I'm doing some more just for the pointing. This is the building. Right, let me tell you a bit about it. It's built around 1900, and it's cavity work. So all them people who say that cavity work was built in at the turn of the century, was all built in lime. It wasn't. Most of it was built in a weak sand and cement. This is quite a strong sand and cement. So you really need to get it, tested if you going to start working on it. You can see it was weather struck. We'll just go around here. These are just sheltered bits there. Right, 1900, it was weather struck. Holding sand and cement. You can see it there in the sheltered bits. So, don't believe everything people tell you. They was trying to get me to point this in lime. Not happening. They got that wrong, and the architect got it wrong. What's the point of putting lime on sand and cement? Well, if we go in, you can see the back of it there. I know the light's bad, but it's all solid sand and cement. See better. Now there's a bit more light here. And there you can see is the cavity, small cavity, 2 inch, inch and a half, and that's what they did. These clinker blocks, fixing blocks, are fixing the frames too. Wooden lintels and no trays. Not a hint of a problem. They're a good quality brick, built in sand and cement. Wooden lintels, Bessemer as they're called, little relieving arch over the top. No damp, nothing. No trays, no damp. If I show you through here, can you see? It's very light. Let's get some light here. You can see in there, you can see the wall ties Them iron, I don't know if they're galvanised or not, covered in muck. Everyone's got a big lump of mortar snot on them, and there you should be able to see that. No damp whatsoever. Just making a point. Right, let's go upstairs and I'll show you the rest of the job. Right, I've got a price for these 4 arches. They've got to be rebuilt. They're too knackered. So there's that one there, this one, and this one, and this one. This one's all right. That can be salvaged. That I don't really know what happened, to be honest. I fucked if I know. There was some lead underneath, and I don't know. Anyway, it's got to be done. Right, so the gauged arch is red rubber bricks, and it's an expensive job, and I'll tell you how much it is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. For the life of me, I can't remember how many bricks in it now. Anyway, the amount of units in it come to £5,880, just under 6 grand, just to buy the bricks. The labour would be that and more, because what happened is all these openings are different sizes within an inch. Some are an inch bigger, some are half inch smaller. So normally I can make the templates all to fit, and use the same arch, but I've got to make different templates for each one, unless I can think another way of getting over it, maybe altering the skew backs or something, but I don't think that's going to work, but something I'll think about. Anyway, we'll forget that really, because I've spoken to the client and he's not willing to pay that. He would if he had to, but we've got options. Now the options is I'm going to build them in standard bricks, and what we call an axed arch, not a rough arch, an axed arch. So basically it's flat cambered arch like that, Georgian arch, and I'll do it with 10mm joints, and then we're going to tuck point it, so it will look like it's gauge brickwork. You know, it's so much cheaper, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what they did. But some funny things gone on here. I don't really get. This one ain't too bad, but if you look on the skew back, they're started halfway down the brick, which I have seen, but you don't need to, because there's plenty of cover on the frame. I don't get it. And then you go to the top, they've got a cut over the top. Now, why they didn't make that arch smaller, I'll tell you, if someone knows better than me, tell me. So you get a full brick over the top, I don't know. And the same here. It's even worse here, you've got this cut over the top. You know, you could have brought it down. It's only an inch or so, isn't it? And then just made that arch a little bit smaller. It'll still be a 4-course arch. And look neat, but that's what I'll do. I'll alter it so it looks right. So yeah, that's the job. That's what we're going to do. Obviously some repointing to be done here and that. Yeah, go and price this one up, but we've got to get it, I know we are. So we're starting that in January really, and the pointing on this extension, which is built in sand and cement, and they're trying to tell me that it should have been built in lime, and they want it pointed in lime. Why would you build a cavity wall in lime? That's not how cavity walls work. You know, we know the 9-inch solid brickwork, why we build them in lime, why they're pointed in lime, is because how they, well, breathe the wrong word really, but people use that word, how it lets the moisture and lets the moisture wick out through the joints. But cavity walls are different. Cavity walls repel water. If you have to build them in lime and they start letting water in, you get a really lot of bad weather and it comes through the lime joints, the cavity's going to get wet. You know, if you've got rockwood insulation, that's going to start getting wet. You don't want your cavity getting wet, do you? You would need trays then. So anyway, they didn't. They built it in sand and cement, and I'm trying to convince them not to build it, not to point it in lime, because there's just absolutely no point. You're gaining nothing. Yeah, they were told that the original house, what I showed you, was built in lime, but it isn't. So yeah, things have changed. So yeah, that's it. Speak to you later.